Yo, what's up, man? This is As a Man, back at y'all with another classic episode, classic video. You know what I mean? Today, I've been thinking about what I've been thinking about for a long time, ever since I came back home from college. I came back home from college, I went off to college, and I came back or whatever like that. And I'm gonna pair this in with that Snowfall TV show, the one about like the drug deal in California and shit like that. There was one episode on Snowfall when dude, the main character, he went, we saw him go off to college. Well, no. I take it back. I take it back. The whole show was founded around the main character, and he was about to go to college. Smart dude in high school and shit like that, and he was about to go off to college. But with him, he was like, man, I gotta get some money. So he was working at a corner store, and then the corner store, he started seeing everybody else making money, and out of nowhere, he found a different way how to make him some money. So instead of going off to college, he stayed where he was and was like, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna turn my people up, and then we're gonna make some money like this or like that or whatever like that. You feel me? So the reason why I'm having this thought is because I actually went off to school and came back. Now, the reason why I brought that Snowfall TV show up is because there was one episode in that TV show where the main character dude I'm talking about right now, I forgot his name, but it showed him going off to college and what would have happened if he would have never turned his life into criminality or the drug game that he did get into. It showed him he went off to school, he dealt with all the shit that people that go to school deal with and shit like that. And then he had came back home, but he didn't graduate or nothing like that. He just came back home, similar to how I came back home. I didn't graduate, but I had a lot of life experience from going to school and shit like that. But me and him had the same similar interactions with people when we had came back for some reason. Well, I ain't gonna say for some reason, but we had the same interactions with people and shit like that. Like, it showed when he came back from school and didn't graduate or whatever like that, he was just in the same position, but a little bit older. You know what I mean? They didn't go too deep into the knowledge that he learned and shit like that or whatever the case may be. It really showed him in a bad light, right? But my life wasn't like his life, totally in a bad light. Now that was some bad light because you went to school, and then of course you're gonna have that, damn, I didn't achieve this, I didn't achieve that. So shit, people gonna look at you funny and whatever the case may be, even though they ain't do shit either way. You know what I mean? But the reason why I'm bringing this all together is because, back in old generations, really before medieval times, the sons would always go out and conquer different lands, conquer different women, conquer different beasts and shit like that. It was always something to look forward to as a man, to go out and forge your own way, you know what I mean? Learn the land, and then come back and be like, man, hey, this is what I did. I went over here, I did this, I learned that, I learned this, I learned that, or whatever the case may be. But now, this isn't something that's really looked up to or pushed for dudes to do or whatever like that. And I'm thinking about my situation in a positive light. Now, I went out to school, stayed out there for some years, whatever like that, learned a lot of knowledge, learned how to move and shit like that, learned how to be around people, how to talk to people, learned business, learned a lot of shit that I wouldn't have learned at home or whatever like that, you know what I mean? So, of course you're gonna have like that bad to where you went out there for a goal and you like, damn, I didn't accomplish this goal, but I learned a lot of other stuff though, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm coming at you from. Hey man, sometimes you gotta go out there and fail. You go out there and fail on that one goal or those few goals that you had to do or wanted to do, but along the way of failing those goals, you learn some new attributes, you gain some new attributes, you gain some new power moves, you gain some new knowledge. It's a lot of stuff that you gain from just failing. I was just thinking, I was like, man, you know, in your family or your friend groups and shit like that, you probably grown accustomed to taking disrespect, getting used to disrespect, getting used to abuse from people that you know what I mean, that you've been knowing for some years and shit like that. I see how I was before I went off to school. I'm not saying that people should go off to school, but I see how I was before I went off to school and after I came back from school, and I see I've grown as a man. I'm not taking no shit from people, even if I've known them for years, you know what I mean? It has to be a clear line of boundaries right there, you know what I mean? It has to be a clear line of boundaries, some domination on your part as a man. You can't let people walk over you. You can't let people do what they want and shit like that. That's just not what's going on. You know what I mean? So I'm saying this, man, as a man, go out and fail a few times. You never know what you might learn. You never know what you might gain. You never know the people that you might inspire. You never know who might inspire you. I could say a lot of you never know, you never know, you never know. But the main point of this message, bro, is to get out there and fail a few times. Shit, man, my life since doing that shit, since going out to school and coming back, people know, they feel, and they see I don't take your shit anymore. I'll go the distance and to get the fuck away from you. I'll get away from you because I don't want nothing to happen to you. And it might sound funny, but that's just being 100 with you. You know what I mean? At this stage in life, I get real agitated about people trying to play with me, bro. Like, usually a nigga would just be like, yeah, whatever it is, what it is. But, playing with me, doing dumb shit, I'm just like, bro, I ain't got time for that no more, bro. I ain't with it. You know what I mean? And this channel is called As a Man because this is something for a man to do, not for a woman. Women shouldn't be in no masculine energy and shit like that. You shouldn't even be listening to my shit. You know what I mean? If you got a kid or son or some shit like that, send him over here, he can listen to this shit. Too many of y'all bitches try to do what men do and you fail miserably. You know what I mean? Just look at your life as a man. You know what I mean? But before I get to start rambling, bro, I'm gonna say this again. Go out and fail as a man. You'll gain so much, bro. Especially with your family and your old friends and shit like that, you'll lose them. You'll lose them, or they'll gain some new respect for you if they can keep up. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times in these families and friendships and shit like that, you're just taking a lot of disrespect. A lot of people are miserable and they want company. A lot of people are bitch-ass niggas, or bitch-ass people, and they wanna, it's like the bully and the weak person. You know what I mean? If a bully jump at you, and they see you jump, then of course they're gonna be on some shit to where they like, man, I'm finna do what I want to do because I see that he weak or whatever like that. You know what I mean? So that's not the thing to do, or the thing to be or whatever like that, bro. So I'm gonna say it again, man, before I get out this message. Go out there and fail. Do it 1,000,000 times, man. You never know what you might gain in life. But again, man, as a man, I'm out. Peace.